Happy Monday, everybody. I hope your week has started well. I had a thought this morning, or this evening, rather, that I wanted to share with you, and I'll give you some context because it's something God has kind of shared with me, or just reminded me. It comes from Philippians chapter 4, and this is the tail end of Philippians. Paul is ending his letter to the Philippians, and this is a great description of the way a Christian should live their mental life, and how we look to God to help us with that. And for me personally, the last couple weeks, some of you may have known, I've shared with some of you, we went through a job transition at the beginning of this year, and it's this last couple months really has been the first new work with the new company, and the project I've been on for the last month and a half is very high profile and very stressful, really, it's, in that weird situation where it's a new company, new people, you're trying to figure out where the boundaries are, what's normal, at the same time trying to have your own boundaries of, this is how I, just that whole balance of how much do I enforce the boundaries that I've come to expect in my life, and how much do I just adapt to the new situation. And, it's a stressful situation. And on the one hand, I'm very grateful because in all of this craziness, my job has been unaffected. We've continued to be able to work. I prefer to work from home, so now I just get to do it 100% of the time instead of 80% of the time. I have my office set up the way I like it. It's a very comfortable place for me, which is great since I'm basically living in it now. So on the one hand, I'm very blessed. On the other hand, it makes it all the more unusual or challenging mentally to be dealing with trying to figure out. You don't want to push back too hard on things you think need to change because I'm grateful to have a job. On the other hand, part of my job is to be a leader and say, hey, I think this, we should change this because this isn't an effective way to work. I think I'm rambling at this point, but you understand what I'm saying. And that's been my week for the last, month. That's been my last month or so. And then today, it kind of all of a sudden went from tons of stuff to do, and every, couple minutes someone's asking, hey, have you done the thing, to, complete downtime. Nothing I had to get done, no major fires, nothing. And so it was nice to have a chance to relax. But I found myself still fighting to have a good attitude. Because, it's hard to go from that kind of stress to being completely empty. At least for me, my brain is still running. It still expects, now it worries. Okay, am I not getting stuff done? What should, no, this is normal. This is okay. There's nothing to do. I just found myself struggling with that mental state all day, having to kind of keep myself in the game, keep myself positive. And it's like the Lord reminded me that, you're getting too wrapped up in this world, and you've got to step back and take a look at the bigger picture. And so for me, music is a gift from God. And I don't mean that God has gifted me with music, although I hope my practice has been effective, but I mean music itself is such an incredible gift. I feel like it's one of the ways in which I'm most connected to God is when I'm playing music, when I'm worshiping Him with music. It feels like I can say things emotionally through music that are hard for me to say in words, hard for me to capture accurately in words. And so a lot of times when I am stressed, when I'm trying to center my mind, I'll turn to music and I'll try and just play something. And it's a good way for me to kind of empty my mind and focus on God and kind of remind myself that, everything's going to be okay. God's in control. He's got it. Not saying that automatically happens. It's a mental thing, right? Because you can be playing music and think about all sorts of stuff. But anyway, so that's what was at the beginning of this video and has been playing throughout. This is just what I was playing this afternoon, and it's not everything, but it's the part I figured I'd record for y'all. And this scripture came to mind. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Regardless of what's going on, focus some of your mental energy on praising God, on being happy with what God has given you, being able to rejoice and give thanks and praise. Let your moderation be known unto all men, the Lord is at hand. Don't get so caught up in the things of this world. Just use what you need. Buy the things you need in moderation, because we're not looking to this world. The Lord is at hand. God is returning soon, and all this stuff's not going to matter. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be known unto God. And I don't think the Bible's saying don't plan, don't make, don't have health insurance, or don't be intelligent. That's not what Paul's saying, but it's in this same vein of your thought life, of rejoicing, keeping your spirit in the right attitude, of not getting caught up in material things, but not being anxious, not being so worried about all the things of this life that you forget that God is the one who provides for us. When I have needs, I take them to God. And if I do those things, if I rejoice, if I live for heaven and not for earth, and if I focus my faith on God and not myself, then the peace of God, which passes understanding, when you get in situations where people don't understand, how can you be so calm? How can you be not freaking out? Or why aren't you angry? Why do you have so much peace? Well, you're right. It's not really something I can understand, but that peace is keeping my heart and my mind through Jesus Christ. And then, of course, the famous verse, think on things that are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, good, things of virtue, things of praise. Think on those things. Keep your mind focused on the good things. Not saying we can't keep ourselves informed, but what am I focused on? And Brother Gossett mentioned some of this Sunday. But I wanted to kind of share this thought with you because I felt like God was reminding me of it today, is that we have an opportunity to worship God every day. And if we will take advantage of that opportunity and remind ourselves the good things God has done, that peace of God will keep our hearts and our minds. If we can stay focused on what truly matters, focused on heaven, focused on doing right and doing God's will here on earth, then there's nothing really in this world that should cause us anxiety. And God will give us peace. I love you. Looking forward to when we can get back together again. And I'll talk to you. We have our midweek Bible study this Wednesday. I'll be continuing in 1 Corinthians, and we'll discuss some more of Paul's letter. And but until then, I hope you're well, and God bless.